Hello traders, let's quickly take a look at Nasdaq, and then if you're new to the channel, please click the like button and subscribe. So as you can see here, we are pushing down, creating lower lows and lower highs. As you can see, this is your break of structure to the downside. Let me just remove that and use this one here. So we had a break of structure within that point, showing that the market is pushing down. So this is your lowest point here, then this is your lower high, then this is your lower low, just around that area, which means that this is another break of structure to the downside. So as you can see here, we tapped into an area of supply around this point here. Seems like this was a nice supply area, and then we also had like some supply areas at the top, of which it's still this one here. So now, since we tapped into an area of supply, the market pulled to the downside, and then obviously there is some internal structure going on here. As you can see from this point, we had an I charge, of which is an I internal break of structure. Then the market pushed to the upside, or an internal change of character. Then we pushed up, then we had another break of structure, of which it's this one here, of which this is the BOS around that area. But like, we're gonna refine everything on the lower time frame up until we broke this area here, of which this is the swing low. So after having the swing low broken through, we can switch over to the 15-minute time frame or the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour, before we do that, let me just use like the fib tool from the high to the low. Let me just change the color. Sometimes I change my charts to a bit darker charts so that I don't hurt my eyes, guys. So as you can see here, we are still in that area. So if we just do this, we are in that area of discount, and then the supply area that I'm only seeing is this one here. So the supply area here can be useful on the lower time frame. So I'm gonna remove this here, and then we're gonna switch over to the 15-minute time frame. So as you can see on the 15-minute time frame, oh, let me just go back. I forgot to do something, which is important, guys, for you to know that. So at the top of the structure, we have the extreme zone. As you can see, this is the extreme area where we need to sell, and then at that extreme area, you can obviously see that we had an imbalance around this point here, of which this imbalance here can be filled, and then whenever it's filled, we also have the supply at the top, and then this is also a supply zone that has been mitigated already, and then this is our lowest point, then this is our highest point, of which that is your overall trading range when it comes to Nasdaq, guys. So switching over to the 15-minute time frame, what you can obviously see is that the market was pushing down. As you can see, we had a lower low, higher low, higher high here, higher low, then we had a higher high, higher low, of which this is the structure that I was talking about. Change of character here internally, break of structure within this point here, BOS around this point. Then after having those areas, you can obviously see that this is an area of demand around this point here, and this demand zone here was mitigated very nicely, and then there is like some liquidity to it, and then this is also a liquidity here or an inducement. Then after that, we have a new break of structure going on around this point here, just like that. Then an area that was mitigated was this fair value gap here, which this fair value gap here was filled, and then we also had an extreme demand zone within this point here. Then the market started buying very aggressively, guys. Then we have a new break of structure around here, just like that. So we continue pushing up until we tapped into that supply zone. So as you can see here, we had a high, low, a high, and then the market pulled down into the supply area here, just because it was not mitigated. The only thing that was mitigated was this area here of imbalance or the fair value gap. Then we pushed to the upside, continuing with our overall breaks of structures. So we have a new break of structure, then we are tapping into this area of supply here, this area of supply. Then we also have an imbalance around that point here. So everything is taking up nicely, as you can see. Let me just change this to our eye chart. So this is the structure that we have obviously on Nasdaq. So what I'm anticipating at the moment are a few things, guys. So we can break structures from this low here. We can break this low and then continue pushing down. Let's say we do this, and I'll change the color for this thing here. let's say maybe we push down like this, then maybe this could be our area of interest. As you can see, we have like the imbalance right there. So this would be the supply area that we sell from. Then after selling from that supply, we obviously know that we expect the market to pull back into this area, then we sell off, tapping into that area of the lowest point that I was talking about. But if that does not happen, it means what? It means we are continuing with our buys, just because this low here is still protected. Like I told you guys, whenever we have this low being protected and then taking out this high here, it means that we are continuing with our buys, and then the supply area here won't be valid, just because obviously the only valid order block here is the supply zone. So around here, let's say maybe we don't pull to the downside, means that we have to tap into this imbalance here, this imbalance around here, and then we also have this area of demand. So which means we are going to buy this Nasdaq thingy and then reach areas of imbalance. So we have the imbalance right there, we have the extreme supply. So that is what I'm currently thinking. Those are the two scenarios that I have. It's either we pull down the way that we are doing, then pull to the upside, tapping into this supply zone, then that is when we can get maybe a market structure shift around this point here. Then we can get to sell the Nasdaq up until this area here. So those are the scenarios that I have on Nasdaq, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on another one, guys. Peace and love.